Okay, well, welcome to another GenieWorld Spark software webinar. I'm John Nelson, and today's exercise is based on the idea of using Spark to model a practical exercise. So what we're looking at is a maths activity, and it's about investigating angles. So as usual, the resources shown are downloadable from the GenieWorld website, and they include the angleater shape. So this is something that you'll print out, the children can cut out. I've gone for a sort of fish here, but there is another sheet where you've just got the basic sort of Pac-Man-like shape. The children can decorate, customize themselves just to make it a bit more fun, and perhaps remember the object of what they're doing for a bit longer. So I'll just come out of that. There is also a again, we'll introduce this directly through Spark. Right, so the other thing is the angleater. So I'll just open this up. This is a Spark slide that I've pre-prepared. So what I've got on here is the shape that we just looked at. So this is virtual, it's just the image pasted, but the children will have this cut out. And the idea is they're going to investigate objects, shapes around them, just to see if they can classify the angles. Don't forget, with Spark, we have an infinite page. That's more going. That's acute angles, less than 90 degrees. Right angles, 90 degrees. Obtuse angles, the ones over 90, less than 100. If you did want to go into reflex angles, then you may have to modify the shape. So it will be basically a semicircle. So we're going to model how the children are going to use it. So if I go back and select this image, then as we've seen before in previous webinars, images have 4 toggles. That's the resizing toggle. This is the rotate. That will be useful for lining that up. It looks a bit odd on my screen because it's a wide angle, so change slightly. Might give us 1 or 2 little issues, but not to worry. Here we have the move, so I can maneuver that across the screen. And the idea is we've got a shape here we're going to demonstrate. If it fits into the mouth of my angle-eating fish, then it's less than 90, it's an acute angle. Now we've got a slight problem here because, again, from previous webinars, if you remember, we've got layers. Think of it a bit like you're pasting pictures into a scrapbook. Whichever one I paste in first is going to be covered by anything I paste on top. So what I need to do is go down to the bottom left, the menu toggle, and I'm going to change the order. Now this won't solve it entirely, but let's bring that to the top, and we can see now that sits on the top, but it's covering the angle. So I'm not quite there yet. I go back to my menu toggle, open that up, and what I want is show toolbar. So if I click on there, I get this little slide bar here. This is to do with transparency. So what I'm going to do is slide this, and we go to about, let's go in the middle, so aiming for 50. Oh, it's near enough. No, I lost it. Let's go 53, that will do. If I slide that across now, then we can see the bottom layer through the top layer. So what I'm going to do is put that into position right in the corner of the mouth, and we can see there plenty of room on the side, so that's got to be less than 90. So we can classify anything we test this with as an acute angle. So let's move down the page. So let me just move that down. And this is our right angle. So go back to select. Let's maneuver this across. And I need to rotate where, as I said, with a wide angle screen, it doesn't quite work, but you can see the idea. Then that should fit exactly in the mouth. So that would be classified as a right angle. And finally, what I'm going to do is go down the screen again. Let's move that across. And this definitely is too big for my angle to swallow. So that's over 90. We can classify that as an obtuse angle. So very simple exercise which I model so all the children can see on the boards. They'll cut out their shapes and then they can go and record their investigations either from things they have around them or wherever they are asked to go. So a very simple exercise, a very simple way of introducing different types of angles. Okay, what I'm going to do now is go onto a new page. So we're going to assume that we've made progress with angles and we're now ready to use protractors. We're ready to measure accurately. So what I need to do is find the maths tools. If I go to View, the Toolbar and Maths Toolbar. If I click on there, again I have a floating toolbar with some of my maths tools in. So let's go for the protractor first of all. So if I click on there, there it is. I can move that around my screen. Also, I can rotate. So I can change that to any position I want. If I go to plane figures, click on there. Now I've got a choice of things in there, but this is the one I want, the angle. So click on there. Let's go that way. Let me just pull that back. And what you can see down here, it actually change one of those lines. That's quite useful for checking our accuracy. So again, we know what the angle is, but we want to see if that tallies with the protractor. So now it's a case of pulling the protractor across. And this is where we talk about where do we line it up. So we do it there, there. Obviously, we need to show we do it there. And lining this up accurately so the bottom fits. And there, there's 60 there. So again, we know it's 60, but we can just check with a protractor. Obviously, if you're measuring from that side, it will be 120. But in this case, we're measuring from this right-hand side. So again, it's a simple way of showing how you can use the protractor. Very simple, very easy to model that. And again, ready for a practical exercise from the children. Right, just going to show one more thing. Now, this is going to a new page. I think this, I'm going to exit that. And what I'm going to do here, I'm going to go into Tools, and I'm going to go into Window Player. Now, Window Player is a really useful thing in Spark. Window Player allows you to save any Word documents or Microsoft documents, Office documents, such as PowerPoint, Excel. So when I click on there, I get this window and I go to Open File. Now this is going to go to the file I last used, which was the Angle Eater resource file. And I've got the activity sheet in here that I'm going to give to the children. And if I click on there, open that, my sheet, and again the window can be resized. I can make it maximum. But the good thing is, this is actually a live Word document. So I go in there, what sort of angle is it? Well, from our previous works, I'll be able to say that's an acute angle. And can you see that if I go to the keyboard, I can actually type onto that Word page and I can save that. So the idea of this, let's go to minimize or, sorry, restore. Open it out. I might want to go over there. Flatten down. So estimate. Now here I've still got the use of my board. So estimate, well, it's less than 90, between 0 and 90. So again, might have suggestions from the children. Let me pick up a pen. So somebody might say 40 degrees. Oops. Somebody might say 60. Let's go for 50 in the middle. So we can have a whole range of suggestions. Sorry about the writing. And then might come to an agreement, and we can put that actually onto our Word document. So again, it's a way of something the children are going to attempt. So again, very useful tools, a nice way of introducing different subjects, different activities to the children, virtually model it, and again for the plenary we can come back and perhaps together fill in this document. So nice things that you can do with Spark, build those into your lessons, makes it nice and straightforward, and hopefully will help the children when they come to practical activities. So thank you for that. That's another useful way, I hope, of using Spark. It's such a good piece of software. There's a whole range of ways that you can use it. So thank you for that. Just going to close that. Do I want to save that? So I can actually save that document if I want to. No. Close that down. No. Let's go back and close the meeting. So thank you very much. This will be recorded. So again, if you want to relook at that, share with colleagues. There's also the sheets with the instructions on resources if you do want to repeat that. So thank you very much, and that's the end of the meeting.